could she still be doing out there in the dark?
Stop worrying, she can see in the dark.
In this storm?
You know the rain doesn't wet her.
Shh. And now she's singing. That is her singing, isn't it? Do you think that's her voice?
Who else would it be? We're 20 leagues from any house.
We've spoiled her, Eugenie. We should not be so lenient. A 15-year-old girl has no business being out in a forest at this hour. Listen to me, Eugenie. She only darns her clothes on the edge of the waterfall, only says her prayers with her head dunked underwater. Imagine the mess we'd be in if you'd been brought up that way, eh?
Doesn't she do her chores?
Don't get me started on that.
What, doesn't she wash the dishes and polish the shoes?
But that's just it, Eugenie. I don't know.
Isn't this plate clean?
But that's not the point. I'm telling you, I've never seen her wash the plates or polish the shoes, and neither of you.
She prefers working outside.
Oh, yes, but whether it's 3 plates or 12, 1 shoe, 3 pairs, it takes her exactly the same amount of time, eh? She's gone for a minute, and then she's back. The cloth's still dry, the polish is untouched, but everything's clean, isn't it? Everything sparkles. And then there's that funny business with the golden plate. Have you made sense of that? And what about her hands, Eugenie? Her hands are never dirty. Do you know what she did today?
Has there ever been a day these past 15 years when she did what we expected?
She opened the gate to the trout pond, Eugenie. All the trout I've had in there since the spring are gone. I managed to save 1 for tonight's supper. Now what?
Ondine, come back inside. Your father's cross with you.
You better come back, Ondine. I'm gonna count to 3, and if you're not back in here by 3, I'll bolt this door. You can sleep outside.
You don't mean it.
See if I don't mean it. Ondine, 1!
Really, Auguste? How deafening each time you finish a sentence!
Like it's my fault now.
Well, hurry up before it claps again. Everyone knows you can count to 3.
Ondine, 2!
Really, Auguste, you're insufferable!
Ondine, 3!
Come on, Auguste, finish. Won't you get it over with?
I'm quite finished. There. Now we can dine in peace, eh?
Ritter Hans von Wittgenstein zu Wittgenstein.
They call me Auguste.
I took the liberty of putting my horse in your barn. The horse, as one knows, is the most important part of the knight-errant.
I'll rub it down for you, sir.
I already have. You see, I make it a principle to rub my horse down myself when I'm away from home. May I take a sip?
The house is yours, my lord.
What a storm! Water's been running down my neck since noon. It's the most frightful thing for a knight-errant, the rain.
You could remove your armor, my lord, if you're going to stay the night.
Nonsense! Have you ever seen a crawfish at a shell, my dear Auguste? It's as complicated as that. I must rest first. You did say your name was Auguste, didn't you?
Oh, yes, and this is my wife, Eugenie.
Ah, charming! Auguste and Eugenie.
Please excuse us, these are not names for knight-errants.
Oh, you have no idea the joy it is for a knight-errant who spent a whole month wandering aimlessly in this damned forest in search of Osmond and Pharamond to stumble across Auguste and Eugenie at dinner time.
Thank you, my lord. It is ill-mannered, I know, to trouble one's guest with questions, but perhaps you will forgive this one. Are you hungry?
I am hungry! I am extremely hungry! I should be glad to join your supper.
We won't have supper, sir, but we do have 1 trout. Would you perhaps care to eat it?
Well, of course I'll eat the trout. I love trout.
Would you like it fried or broiled?
Me, I'd like it poached.
Poached? I really do them best sautéed Meunier in white butter.
Well, you asked what I preferred, and I like my trout poached.
No, my lord, you should try it gratin. It's my wife's speciality.
Nonsense! When we say poached, that's when you throw the live trout in boiling water, yes?
Live, yes, in boiling water.
And, the trout retains its tenderness because the boiling water startles it?
Well, startled is the word, my lord.
And I want it poached, without a doubt.
Char-grilled is really very nice.
With a slice of lemon.
Really, I'd rather have it poached.
How about fried? There's nothing like a good fried trout.
No, Eugenie. Come now, a poached trout for the night, eh? Chop, go on.
I do take it knight-errants are welcome in these parts.
More welcome than armies, my lord. A knight-errant means the war is over.
I love war. I'm not a villain. I mean no harm to anyone, but I do love war.
Well, to each their own, my lord.
Oh, no, you see, I love to talk. I'm quite the rambler. And there's always someone to talk to in a war. But being a knight-errant, oh, dreadful! Not a single human soul to speak to in the month I spent wandering this damned forest. Nothing but my own echo. And Lord knows I have so much to say.
But then, if I might be so bold as to ask, my lord, what brought you into these dangerous woods?
Well, what do you think? A woman, of course.
Oh, I ask no more questions.
Oh, no, please do. Ask me right away. I haven't spoken to her in a month, my dear Auguste. Do you really think I'd let this occasion slide now that I've met two fellow human beings to talk about her with? Go on, ask me anything. Ask me what her name is. Do it, old man! What is her name?
What's her name, my lord?
Her name is Bertha. Princess Bertha. Such a beautiful name, wouldn't you say, old man?
Oh yes, my lord, a stupendous name.
You see, anyone can be called Angelique, Diane, Violante, but Bertha, oh Bertha, only she deserves such a solemn, such a palpitating, such a passionate name. Eugenie will want to ask, no doubt, if she is beautiful.
Is she beautiful?
Oh, we are speaking of the Princess Bertha, by the way.
Of course. And is she beautiful?
Terribly so! You see, I'm in charge of selecting the king's horses, so I have an eye for these things. No blemish, however slight, ever escapes my attention. Angelique, for instance, has a tarnish on her right thumbnail. Violante has this speck of gold in her eye. Bertha is perfect.
We're very pleased to hear it, my lord.
But it must be rather pretty, my lord. A speck of gold in a lady's eye.
Mind your business, Auguste.
Don't deceive yourself, old man. Sure, a speck of gold might amuse you for a day or two. You'll lean in to see it flicker in the moonlight. You'll kiss her beneath the dancing flame of 100 torches. By the third day, you'll hate it. You'd rather anything, a dead fly even, than that golden thing in her eye.
But what's it like, my lord? Did it sparkle like a grain of mica?
You're getting on everyone's nerves with your golden specks and your Michael at the night's speech.
Yes, my dear Auguste. Why this sudden partiality for Violante?
He can be so obsessive sometimes.
Ah, well, he shall think of Violante until he meets Bertha. Oh, you shall certainly come to the wedding. You're invited, both of you.
Imagine that, Eugenie.
Then, fisherman, you will see if Violante, with her big mouth, tiny ears, little Greek nose, and chestnut hair, compares to my dark angel. Now, dear Eugenie, won't you fetch that poached trout? I fear it might have cooked.
Ondine!
How beautiful he is!
What did you say, you shameless girl?
I said how beautiful he is!
She is our daughter, my lord. She hath no manners.
I'm so glad to know that men are beautiful! My heart is racing!
Ondine, won't you shut
Oh,
up?
I'm trembling!
She is but 15, my lord. Forgive her.
I always knew there was a reason for being a girl. The reason is that men are so beautiful!
Ondine, stop embarrassing our guest.
I'm not embarrassing him. Look how he stares at me, Father. He likes me. Oh, what is his name?
Ondine, that is no way to address a knight.
Oh, look at his ear, Father. It looks just like a little shell. Don't you belong, little shell? What is your name?
His name is Hans.
Hans! I should have known. When people are happy and their lips part, they say Hans.
Von Wittgenstein.
Oh, when there is dew in the morning and a sadness lifts from your soul when you sigh, you say Hans.
Von Wittgenstein zu Wittgenstein.
What a pretty an echo in the name. Why are you here? To take me away?
That will do, Ondine. Why don't you go to your room or something?
Please take me with you.
Here is your poached trout, my lord. Better eat your trout than listen to our demented child.
His trout!
It looks magnificent.
Mother, you dare to poach a trout!
Hush! It's cooked now.
And you were swimming so peacefully, weren't you?
Ondine, you're not going to cry
And
over
they
a
call
trout.
themselves my parents! And they took you and they threw you in boiling water!
It was I who asked you to do it, my girl.
You. I should have known. I should have seen it on your face. You're not very bright, are you? You're a monster, aren't you?
Forgive us, my lord.
That's chivalry. That's courage. You run around looking for giants that don't exist. And when an innocent creature springs joyously in the clear water, you boil it alive!
And I eat it, child, and I find it delicious.
You'll see if you find it delicious. Ah! Try and eat it now.
Ondine!
Where are you going, my child?
Out there, there's someone who hates men. Someone who will tell me everything they are. I already know that they lie, that those who are handsome are ugly, and the brave ones are cowards. I already know that I hate them.
They will love you.
What did he say?
Me? No, nothing. I didn't say anything.
Say it again. Let's see.
I said they will love you.
Oh, I hate them.
Congratulations. You've brought her up well.
Well, God knows we tried, my lord.
I'm starving! Make me another poached trout just to punish her!
But that was our last trout, my lord. Oh, but we have ham! Eugenie, we'll fetch you some.
She lets you eat ham? What a mercy!
The girl has upset you, my lord. I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, I'm upset because I am dull, as she says. We're all the same, us knights. Pathetically vain. When she said I was handsome, though I know I'm not handsome, she pleased me. When she said I was a coward, though I don't believe I'm a coward, she hurt me.
But you're very kind, my lord, for taking it all so well.
I'm not taking this well at all! I'm furious!
I can't find the ham.
Oh, excuse me for one moment, my lord. I'm coming!
My name is Ondine.
It's a pretty name.
Hans and Ondine. The most beautiful names in the world, aren't they?
Or Ondine and Hans?
Oh no! Hans first. He's the man. He commands. Ondine is the girl. She is always one step behind. She keeps quiet.
Oh, quiet? And how does she manage that?
Hans is always one step ahead of her. In the processions, before the king. He is the first to grow old. He is the first to die. It's horrible. But Ondine follows soon. She kills herself.
What are you talking about, my girl?
There is one horrible minute to live through. The minute after the death of Hans. But it doesn't last too long. She kills herself.
Thankfully, death means nothing at your age.
At my age? Why don't you kill yourself to see? Then you'll see if I don't kill myself.
No. I don't think I've ever felt less like killing myself.
Well, then tell me you don't love me. Then you'll see if I don't kill myself.
Weren't we strangers 15 minutes ago? And now you want to die for me? See, I thought you and I were on bad terms on account of that trout.
Oh, who cares about trout? They're not very clever trout. They should have stayed away from it if they didn't want to get caught. I'm not very clever either. I've also been caught.
Despite what that mysterious friend of yours just told you about men.
He said you'd deceive me. But he also said you weren't handsome. He was lying about one thing. He must be lying about that too.
Is that all he said?
He said if I ever kissed you, I'd be lost. That was silly of him. I had thought of it till then.
And you're thinking of it now?
Ah, yes. Very hard.
Go think over there.
There's no harm in thinking. Of course, in the end, we shall do it. But it feels so good to wait. We will remember this hour later on. The hour before you kissed me. Oh, the hour before you told me you loved me. Oh, Hans, I can't wait an hour. Kiss me, say it to me now. I'm here, I'm trembling.
One doesn't just say these things,
Well,
Ondine.
then
It doesn't work
speak.
that way.
Come on. How must we do it? How must we say I should be on your lap, shouldn't I?
On my lap, with this armor. You think I would just open my arms to any stranger?
I have a way of opening ours. And closing them. Go away!
Who are you speaking to, Ondine?
Do I meddle in your affairs? One of the neighbors.
You have neighbors?
Yes, we have loads. And they're all jealous of me.
Charming voices they've got.
It's my name that's charming, not their voices. Kiss me, Hans. They'll never forgive me. They will hate me forever. Kiss me.
Ondine!
I'm on his lap. He loves me.
Ondine!
I can't hear you. It's too late anyway. It's done. I'm his mistress. Yes, his mistress. That's what they call their wives here.
Oh, Ondine! Your parents are coming.
Please excuse us. We couldn't find the ham.
I can't imagine who would have put the ham in the attic, my lord.
I did, so I could be alone with Hans.
Ondine, have you no shame?
No, I didn't waste my time. He's going to marry me. The knight and I are getting married.
Ondine, talking nonsense and help your mother set the table.
Oh, of course, mother! Hand it over! From now on, it is I who shall tend to hands. I will be his servant.
I've taken the liberty of bringing a bottle of wine from the cellar, my lord. If you permit, we will drink a glass with you.
Oh, Lord Francis, Ondine, you must teach me everything. I will serve you morning until night. I will be the most devoted handmaid. In the morning, I will wake you.
Oh, try waking me. I sleep like a log.
Oh, mother, you've set the table. Lord Hans is teaching me how to wake him. Oh, let's rehearse it, Hans. Pretend that you're asleep.
You're kidding, with all this delicious food here.
Wake up, little Hans, wake up. It's the grey dawn outside. Everything shimmers and glistens. It's morning in the garden. Wake up, Hans. Take this kiss in your darkness, and this in your day.
Please take no heed of her, my lord, as she's completely out of it.
Oh, I love you.
She's young, it's nothing really. She gets attached too quickly.
I love you, Hans.
Ondine, please be quiet. I'd like to say a few words, if I may.
I will be the most noble part of you, and the humblest. I shall be the shoes on your feet, my husband, the breath in your lungs, and the hilt of your sword. I shall be your tears and your dreams.
Now this is what I call ham.
You don't want to be locked, you want to be stuffed.
Quiet, Ondine, your father's trying to speak.
I'll have another slice of that, thank you, please. Oh, God, I have to.
My lord, you permit me to speak. Since you do us the honour of spending the night in our humble home,
100 nights, 1,000 nights.
allow me to congratulate you on the greatest triumph that can befall a knight, and to toast to the lady of your heart,
So kind, father.
who waits for you and dreams of you, and whom you rightly call the most beautiful of women, though for my part I am quite partial to the Lady Violante on account of
we know. Go on.
Yes. I drink now to your dark angel, your betrothed, the Princess Bertha!
What did you say?
I said what the knight has said himself.
You're lying! He's lying! My name's not Bertha!
I'm not talking about you, darling.
The knight and the Princess Bertha are engaged to be married. Everyone knows it to be true, is it not so?
Everyone's lying!
My little Ondine.
Oh, are you done stuffing yourself with ham? Is there a Bertha, yes or no?
Yes, there is a Bertha. There was a Bertha.
That is true! What he told me about men, that they trick you and deceive you, they take you onto your lap until you can't breathe and touch you everywhere they can find skin to touch, and all the while they're thinking of a dark angel named Bertha.
I did no such thing, Ondine.
You're lying! Yes, you did! Oh, look what he did to me, mother! He bit me!
You cannot possibly believe her.
I shall be the most beautiful part of you and the humblest, he said. I shall be your bare feet and the wine you drink and the food you eat. They're his words, mother, not mine. And I must spend my days serving him morning until night just because he asked me to. And I must kill myself the moment he dies. And all the while, in their secret heart of hearts, they're thinking of a dark angel named Bertha.
On my word, Ondine!
Oh, I despise you!
Ondine!
Oh, don't come near me, I will throw myself in the
I think there is no more Bertha, Ondine.
That's it! Betray the Berthas too! My poor parents are ashamed of you!
Oh, no, think nothing of it, my lord, really.
What did you say?
There is no more Bertha, Ondine.
You lied! Farewell!
Ondine!
My lord, you'll get drenched. That was smooth.
Yes, it was. Might as well tell him.
Yes, might as well.
She's not your daughter, is she?
No, my lord.
We had a daughter.
It's stolen from the cradle.
So who left you Ondine?
No one, my lord. We found her by the lake the day our daughter disappeared.
So if one were to ask for Ondine's hand in marriage, is it you they must ask?
She calls us her parents.
In that case, I ask you for Ondine's hand in marriage.
Have you lost your mind, my lord?
No! Never better! I have never meant anything so seriously in my life. I speak of Ondine's hand with Ondine's hand on my mind. I want to hold her hand. I want her hand to lead me to the altar. To war. To my death.
No, my lord, you already have a hand for that. That really makes too many hands.
Oh, whose hand?
The Princess Bertha's hand, my
Oh,
lord.
do you know Bertha? I know Bertha now that I've met Ondine.
You said the Lady Bertha was perfect.
Yes. Apart from her shrieking laugh and hairy lip, that is.
But I thought that knights are supposed to be faithful.
Oh, faithful to what? Listen to me, old man. There was once a knight in search of the one thing in the world that was not frayed, nor worn, nor mediocre, but truly wonderful. Then one night he stumbles across a girl on the lakeside of the forest. Tin turned to gold in her slender hand. She ran into the rain and was untouched by it. Not only was she the most wonderful creature he had ever seen, but he knew instantly that she was the very sacrifice, the very tenderness and delight of this barren world. Whereupon, he bowed to her and went off to marry some lady named Bertha. Ugh. Tell me, Auguste, what sort of knight would he be?
Well, sir...
Tell me, old man, what sort of knight would that be?
Really?
A very stupid knight. The thickest bloke in the world.
Speak, Auguste.
Yes, speak. If there is any reason you refuse me Ondine's hand, tell me at once.
You ask us for Ondine's hand, my lord. It's a great honour, truly, but she's not ours to give. Ondine never needs her father's smile or her mother's touch, and well, when it rains, there's really no keeping her. I mean, she doesn't have a room here or a bed, but we find her often out there, asleep on the lake. You think that she's out there in the storm, my lord, but you're wrong. She's out there, and she is the storm. She's a beautiful child, my lord. There's no denying that. Ondine is beautiful, but she's not ours. In truth, she'll never be anyone's. No. Ondine belongs to the lake, and the rivers, and the rain.
What is your point? That I should go and ask the lake for permission to marry Ondine?
You shouldn't joke about the lake, my lord.
Oh, no! If we're to be family, I accept all lakes in the world as my stepfathers, and all rivers my stepmothers. You hear? I come in peace! I mean no harm to you or any puddle you call kin.
Beware the water, my lord. You don't want to upset nature.
Well, did you upset nature when you took Ondine? Oh, Auguste, please, just give me Ondine.
Give you Ondine? And where is she now? She might never come back for all I know. When she leaves this house, we fear she's gone for good. And you look for her, but there's no trace of Ondine. She's got no clothes, no jewels, no boxes full of memories. It's like she was never here, like she never existed. No. Ondine is a dream. There is no Ondine. Eugenie, do you believe in Ondine? I don't. Who's Ondine, eh?
I think you're tired, Auguste. Let's go to bed now.
But of course you still remember Ondine. You catch a glimpse of her. Or at least you think it was her. But she won't show herself again. Not really. But we'll know that she's there, won't we, Eugenie? But she'll speak to us in the storm, laugh in a crack of thunder, and we'll know that she loves us because of how the rain falls on our faces, how the waves lap our feet, because one day I'll catch a fish from the sea out there on the lake.
Forgive him, my lord. He's rambling.
Do you remember the day we found her,
The
Eugenie?
minister retired, my lord.
Just a cradle in the sand and the sky staring down at us.
Really, Auguste, we'll talk about Ondine tomorrow.
If she comes back.
Good night!
In any case, I will wait for her.
Take me, handsome knight.
What?
Kiss
I
me.
beg your pardon.
Don't touch me, handsome knight.
Ondine, what is this?
They're jealous! Don't listen to them! Shall I remove my dress, handsome knight? Don't untie my hair. Don't caress my waist.
Oh, worry not.
Do you want me? Do I frighten you?
Ondine!
They don't want me to love you. They say that anyone can have you, they can fall for them. They think that every man's the same. Come, handsome knight. Come near me, handsome knight. If you touch me, if you kiss me, I'll scream.
Oh, they're quite pretty, your friends.
Hans von Wittgenstein zu Wittgenstein. Without you I will die. Alles was ist deines mine. And moi, ne me quitte pas.
Oh, it's charming.
Stop it! Stop it! You've lost his
Oh,
name!
let them speak, Ondine.
I love you, I want you. I tremble when you're here.
Yes. Oh, what's the harm?
They will begin to sing.
I love music.
The waves of moonlight glosses, bidding great sands with lights. Far off thy farthest rosses, we footed all the night. This isn't music. It's more terrible than the mermaid's song, for which thousands of men gone mad, drowned at the bottom of the sea.
What were the bonds of Ulysses compared to your arms?
Weaving golden dances, mingling hands and mingling glances. The moon has taken flight, and so we footed all the night. To and fro
child, to the waters and the wild, with a fairy hand in hand, with the words more full of weeping than you can understand.
Can't you see her skin is cold and covered in scale? Her hair is full of seaweed, look at her horrible teeth.
Please seek the slumbering trust,
Stop it!
and whisper in their ears. Give them unquiet dreams, leaning softly out. From ferns let drop their tears, 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 tears over the streams. Come away, O human child, to the waters and the wild, with a fairy hand in hand, with the words more full of weeping than you can understand. You've lost, Ondine, you've lost.
What have you lost?
He loves me, he'll never leave me!
You've lost, Ondine, you've lost. He holds you in his arms, Ondine, but he thinks of me. He speaks your name, Ondine, but he sighs for me. He will betray you.
No, you're lying! He couldn't care less about you! He thinks you're ugly, that you smell and stink!
Then you agree? You make the pact?
Yes, I agree! Make the pact!
What pact?
Everyone will know. It cannot be undone.
Good! Tell them all! Those who crawl and those who swim, those who bathe in the sunlight, and those who lay billions of blurred eggs on the ocean floor.
Tell them what?
Tell them I said yes!
She said yes, yes, yes. And the old one, shall we tell him too?
Tell him I hate him!
Yes.
Tell him he lies!
Lies, lies, lies.
What a fuss! Such fury!
Naturally, it's the family. Oh. Are you sure you're caught this time?
Yes, Ondine, body and soul.
You don't want to struggle a little longer? Just a little longer?
No, I'm far too happy to struggle. I love you.
You said it before. You said it so easily.
I've said a similar word, but it didn't mean I love you.
You've said it often.
To all the ones I didn't love.
Oh, tell me about your conquest. Tell me about what you're giving up for me.
Oh, nothing. Nothing really. All women.
The mean ones, the undeserving, the ugly.
And the beautiful ones too.
Oh, Hans, I wanted to give you the world, but I'm about to take half of it away. You will hate me for it.
Half the world is nothing compared to you. You'll see them.
Where will I see them? The women that you don't love.
Everywhere. In their castles, at gardens, at court.
The court? Me?
Yes, let's leave in the morning.
Should I leave the lake so soon?
I want to show the world the most beautiful thing it possesses.
Oh,
You do know you are the most beautiful thing the world possesses, don't you?
I suspected it. But will the world have eyes to see it?
When the world sees you, it will know. And you'll know the world too, Ondine. You can't go on ignoring each other forever. It's quite nice, Ondine, our world.
Oh, tell me, Hans, in your world, do lovers stay together always?
Oh, together, yes.
No, Hans, you don't understand. When a man and a woman love each other, do they ever come apart? Do they ever separate?
Well, naturally, they must.
No, Hans, you still don't understand. Oh, take the dogfish, for example. When the dogfish form a couple, they never leave each other's side, not as long as they live. They swim through thousands and thousands of miles of stormy and calm waters with never more than an inch between them. Currents strong enough to rip entire ships apart, pull through them from the depths of the ocean. But they carry on. They swim together in an eternal, unbroken parallel. Not even a sardine could come between them.
In our world, Ondine, a whale could come between a man and wife 20 times a day.
I was afraid of that.
It merely proves that men and dogfish are different species.
But we're the same, aren't we, Hans? You'll never leave me.
I promise,
Oh,
Ondine.
please, not even for a second.
Not even for a second.
Because now that I love you, my loneliness begins 2 steps away from you.
I swear I will never leave you, Ondine. What are you doing, Ondine?
You don't mind if I tie you with this?
Oh, no, Ondine, no, darling.
You can remove it tomorrow. It's not permanent.
No man and wife have ever been closer, Ondine.
Yes, Hans. And now you will sleep.
Goodbye, Ondine.
Look after my lake.
Goodbye, Ondine.
Look after my stream.
Ondine!
Old one.
Don't leave us, Ondine. Don't fall for a man.
I have left you. I have fallen for a man.
The world of men is not your world, Ondine. It will bring you sorrow.
It will bring me joy.
He will deceive you. He will abandon you.
Never.
Then the pact stands, you little fool.
Yes.
You'll remember it when he leaves you.
Yes, I will remember the pact.
He will die and you shall forget.
Never. I will never forget.
You are the shame of the lake. Remember, Ondine.
Remember the pact, Ondine.
Remember the pact.
Oh dear. From now on I shall have so much to remember.
Had I the heavens embroidered cloths, enwrought with golden and silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark cloths of night and light and of half-light, I would spread those cloths under your feet. But I, being poor, have only my dreams. I have spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly, because you tread on my dreams.
Dear sir, I have a most pressing matter which requires all of your skill as the superintendent of the Royal Theatres, and all of your inventiveness as well. It appears the Knight von Wittgenstein has decided, after 3 months of honeymoon, to finally present his new bride to the court. His Majesty the King has requested an amusing interlude take place so as to celebrate the occasion. This is to take place immediately.
Immediately?
In a few minutes.
Well, the time is short, my Lord Chamberlain.
It could not be shorter. Well, what do you propose then as superintendent of the Royal Theatres?
Salamo!
No. We had Salambo yesterday for Margrave's birthday, and besides, it is far too sad.
It's sad, but it's ready.
Do not tell me it's more ready than Orpheus, which has only one character, or Adam and Eve, which requires no costumes at all.
Excellency, my success in theatre is based solely on the discovery that each theatre has its preferences and inhibitions. It is useless to combat.
Well, time pressures,
I have come to the conclusion that each theatre exists for one play, and one play only. The only thing is to discover which one. And I believe that the Royal Theatre exists only for Salambo.
This is preposterous.
At the very word of Salambo, the tightness of the throat, the constriction of the pharynx, which usually afflicts a royal chorus, immediately relaxes. The hall resonates with clear and joyful voices. Entire sets, which usually require ropes and pulleys to lift, spring up miraculously with the flick of a finger. Every last trace of dusty melancholy vanishes. Did you, my Lord Chamberlain, ever hear of anyone missing a cue or forgetting a line in Salambo?
No, for the last time, no! We can hardly entertain a newly wed couple with the most tragic tale of unhappy love. No, Salambo is out. Next, who are you?
I am the seal trainer, Your Excellency.
Then what did he do, these seals of yours?
They do not sing Salambo, sir.
Well, that's a shame. A chorus of seals singing Salambo would have been excellent entertainment. Does one of your seals have a beard by chance that makes him look like His Majesty?
I could shave him.
No, we'd best avoid even the shadow of a scandal. No, next. Who are you?
I am an illusionist, Your Excellency.
Yes, then where is your apparatus?
I have no apparatus.
You do not summon comets out of thin air or draw Atlantis from the sea without apparatus.
Yes!
How ridiculous!
Your Excellency.
You do not summon the Trojan horse or Pharaoh's great pyramids without apparatus.
Yes!
How stubborn!
Your Excellency.
Not now! You do not summon before the eyes of the Lord Chamberlain Venus completely nude without the apparatus?
Your Excellency. Yes.
Oh.
Madame.
Excellency, His Majesty is unavoidably detained by the African envoy. The reception is postponed.
Ah, marvelous. This gives us some time to think. Have you thought of something? Get out! Oh, you magician, illusionist, whatever you are, how do you propose to entertain His Majesty?
If Your Excellency accepts, I think I'll improvise on the spot.
Well, that's a terrible idea. We do not know what you are capable of.
Do you wish to see together before your eyes a man and a woman who've been avoiding each other for months?
In this place, now.
Perfectly.
But surely you must know that the couple in question could not possibly meet.
Yes, but suppose a dog were to steal the bride's glove and bring it here. What would the gentleman do but chase after the dog? Suppose the lady's pet bird escapes from its cage in her room and flies here. What would the lady do?
That will not do at all, for it is a halberdier's highest duty to keep any dog from entering the royal apartments, and there are falcons posted outside her lady's window. No birds could get by them.
Yes, but suppose the halberdier slips on a banana peel. Suppose a gazelle distracts the falcons from the window.
We have neither bananas or gazelles in these parts, sir.
Well, you do now. Yes, now everyone, take your places. In a moment you shall see the Knight of Wittgenstein and the Princess Bertha meet in this very hall.
Your Excellency, why do this evil deeds?
Oh, they were bound to meet sooner or later.
Yes, but why not things take their natural course?
My dearest Bertram, you are young and a poet at that. When you get to be my age, you will see that life is nothing more than a poorly directed play. Cues are systematically missed, props misplaced, and entrances and exits often confused. Climaxes too are often very deflated, though I know nothing of it personally, and endings never come when they should. It's all very disappointing. But now that the magician here could cause life to happen at a pace...
We shouldn't interfere with these things!
Do not delude yourself, boy! Hans and Bertha were bound to meet sooner or later. One day their hands would brush against each other as they walked on by the same path, and then months later they would end up kissing. The damage is done. Either way, the magician simply saved this life's delay. Yes, it is enough. I have heard enough. Magician, please go ahead before I get upset.
What is that noise?
Oh, the halberdier, Your Excellency. He slipped on a banana peel. The gazelle! The falcon struck it!
You marvelous! You keep up the pace all evening, magician.
I can try.
Here comes the bird!
And the dog!
And the lady.
And the knight!
There it is.
There you are.
Well, that was lame, magician.
My mistake. An error in calculation.
Will they meet, yes or no?
I'll make them bump into each other just to be sure.
Yes, wasn't that you are?
Again, I swear I just had it. Oh, I beg your pardon, Bertha.
Oh, I'm sorry, Hans.
Did I hurt you?
Didn't feel a thing.
I am a clumsy beast.
Yes, you are. Pleasant honeymoon.
Yes, very.
Dark-haired, no?
Dark, night falls where she passes.
Sunless nights. I prefer the sunshine.
To each their own.
You must have suffered then. That time I saw you before you left when you kissed me.
I beg your
In
pardon.
the shade under the oak tree.
Bertha!
I didn't. I liked it.
My wife is just next door.
I liked being in your arms. I thought I would be there forever.
You untied those arms. You sent me away.
I thought you would come back from your conquests covered in glory. I didn't think you'd get lost and settle for the first bed you'd happen to stumble on.
I beg your pardon. A word of advice, Bertha. Next time you fall in love, prefer your love to your pride and don't let him stray.
Don't worry, I won't.
When you do find someone, throw your arms around them and don't let go. Tell them you love them before the world. Kiss them for all the world to see.
I was going to.
Bertha!
Be careful with my hands, Hans.
I love another woman now!
Please, the bird.
If I would have died in that forest, you would have forgotten me! Now that I return happy, you find my happiness insufferable! Bertha, let go of the bird! Bertha? done. Open your hands.
There, you killed it.
Forgive me, Bertha.
Fault is this. I loved you once and thought you were everything glorious in this world.
Bertha,
Give it to me, the bird.
How about the scene where Hans and Bertha... Very well. That scene takes place next spring.
I've not finished my sentence yet. Oh, you read minds too.
Bertha!
I was looking for you.
Well, I was looking for you, Bertha.
Hold on a second, magician. What is this? What have you done to me?
One of the inconveniences of the system. You've a 6 months beard.
Majesty's reception will begin in just a few moments, my lord.
Oh my goodness, I completely forgot it. Oh, stop all of this at once, stop it all at once. I have just enough time to go brief this young lady on the way to the court before the king comes along. I'm ashamed the king cannot see me like this. Magician, do not play anything till I get back. Wait for me, wait for me.
But it would be so simple, so easy, Your Excellency.
Please,
Oh, but it would
please.
make me so happy.
Absolutely not. It is out of the question. I am sorry, my dear, but there is no way we can change a third-class court reception at such short notice into a water festival. And besides, it costs far too much. I am truly sorry, but there's no way we can fill up this grand hall with water.
But it wouldn't cost you anything.
No. Even if we were hosting the Fish King himself, we would have to meet out in the air.
Oh, but I'd be so much more ease in the water.
Well, not us, not me.
Yes, you would. You especially. Your palms are damp.
My palms are not damp, man.
Yes, they are. Touch here.
My lady, if you would just take a moment to listen to what I'm trying to tell
Oh,
you.
of course.
Without interrupting
Oh,
me.
no, I shan't interrupt you.
Wonderful. Now, let me begin by stressing that the court is a sacred
Oh,
precinct.
excuse me. What is your name?
My name is Bertram.
You're a poet, aren't you?
Oh, so they say.
You're not very handsome, are you?
So I'm told. But not we should say blunt.
Doesn't writing make you more beautiful?
Oh yes, I used to be mad.
Oh, you were saying.
As I was saying, the court is a sacred precinct in which man must keep in check two of his worst enemies at all time, his face and his tongue. When one is afraid, the other must show courage. When one is lying, the other must appear frank. And if one does happen to be telling the truth, it can be useful in some instances to appear to be lying.
Really?
Well, why don't we take the example you brought here in your ignorance and candor? My hands. Yes, it's true. My palms do perspire. It's caused me a great deal of embarrassment ever since I can remember. My palm is damp, but my arm is long, and it reaches to His Majesty. Do not touch. Reaches to His Majesty's throne. To displease me, and to put oneself in jeopardy with the king himself. And I do not enjoy hearing about my only shortcoming. So, dearest Ondine, as a distinguished young lady of the court, let me ask you again. Is my hand damp or is it dry?
Damp, like your feet.
Oh, no, you do not understand.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, gee.
What was the first poem you ever wrote?
The most beautiful.
The most beautiful of all your poems.
Oh, of all poems ever.
Oh, tell it to me quickly, please.
I don't remember. It came to me in a dream. When I woke up, I'd forgotten.
You should have written it down sooner. You were saying.
Okay, let's just admit it. Let's admit it. I admit it. My palm is damp. Let's all admit it. But would you tell the king that his palm was damp?
No.
Bravo! And why not?
Because they're dry.
No, because he's the king, my child. If the king were to ask you if his palms were damp...
But they're not.
Oh, okay, let's take another example. Let's say the king asks you about the wart on his nose.
No,
He
I
has
don't
a
know.
wart
I
on
don't
his
like
nose.
warts.
That is a
No.
fact. Do not make me lose my temper, Ondine. Now, what would you say if the king were to ask you what his wart looked like?
That would be rather strange, wouldn't it, for the king to ask me about his wart in our first meeting?
I am speaking theoretically!
My lady, What the Chamberlain is trying to say is that it is best not to offend ugly people by reminding them of their ugliness.
But they're offensive for being ugly. Why should they be ugly?
Okay, let's just leave this all together. On a more pressing matter, I have just enough time to ask you and brief you on the question His Majesty will ask you as a debutante. It is my duty, unfortunately, to brief all new debutantes.
Oh, excuse me, please. It's very
urgent.
And I'm pleased to hear it, but the Chamberlain is annoyed. What is he going to say?
That's it, I've said it. Yes, Hercules.
Yes, when Hercules killed the
Oh,
fish.
no, la la la, I don't want to hear
Ondine,
my
we don't have time for this. His Majesty's just around the corner, and he asked you what Hercules was.
Excellency!
Don't interrupt, Tom.
Chamberlain, a word!
Darling, please be quiet. The Chamberlain is teaching me how to...
Why have you placed me below Psalm?
Feel his farmhand shine riotous.
Why have you placed me below Psalm?
You're ugly and I hate you, and that's not a lie.
Will you be quiet? Chamberlain? But what of my rank at the dinner table? I'm entitled to the third rank below king, and to the silver fork.
You were, had a certain engagement been fulfilled, and to first place even on the golden fork. But your current marriage, however, assigns you to 14th place. And the iron spoon.
14th place?
Don't make a fuss, Han. There's food in the kitchen and there's plenty for everyone.
Do you find this amusing, Bertram?
No.
No? Then why are you laughing?
Oh, I only laugh, Knight, because my heart is gay.
Oh, you're not going to stop people from laughing, are you, Han?
Oh, he's laughing at you.
He's not laughing at me to be mean. He's laughing because he thinks I'm amusing. He's laughing because he likes me.
Gentlemen, the king!
Don't be mad at my husband, Bertram. It's sweet he should defend me, so don't you think?
We all envy the privilege.
Who asked your opinion,
I
Bertram?
did, darling. I didn't. Please, don't be nervous. You should take some lessons from the Chamberlain. Look how I'm trembling. But all of Earth's lightning and greatest floods cannot shake the smile from my lips.
Ondine!
Old one.
Pardon the intrusion. I'm in charge of the entertainment.
Go away!
Your time is running out, Ondine. Come with me to the water. Come. It's not too late to let him go.
Never!
You'll ask for me when the time comes. Remember, Ondine.
His Majesty the King and his daughter the Princess Bertha.
All hail the king!
Hail, Knight von Wittgenstein.
Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, with your most gracious permission, may I present the Lady von Wittgenstein zu Wittgenstein.
Madam.
My name is Ondine.
Curtsy, madam.
We receive you, dear child, with great pleasure, as with all of those I mean to love. In this hall we call the Hall of Hercules. I'm very fond of Hercules. Of all the names I have, Hercules is by far my favourite, and the only one I go by, naturally. I'm not one to believe that his name derives from Ursulae the frog gatherer. There are no frogs in Hercules' story, good heavens. Oh, listen to me rambling away here. Ondine, Hercules. Yes, you must know, I'm sure, how many labours Hercules brought to a successful conclusion.
12. Oh, 12, Your Majesty.
Exactly, yes. Very good, yes. The Chamberlain whispers a little loudly, but your voice is charming nonetheless. Now, if you will raise your eyes to the wall there, child, you'll see depicted on it the sixth labour of Hercules. Who is that woman trying to seduce Hercules with a lie on her, with a smile on her lips and a lie in her heart?
Bertha! You'll never have him, Bertha, never! He'll never be yours! If you touch him, if you speak a word to him, I'll tell you!
Ondine, are you quite well? Charming woman!
Oh, Your Majesty, save us, please!
no danger to you here.
Your Majesty, permit us to take our leave forever. I have an adorable wife, but she's not fit for our world.
What is your name again, you who finds me charming?
Bertram.
You shut up!
When a lady asks my name, knight, I give it.
Oh, please.
I had hoped to offer by way of a diversion, a little interlude perhaps.
His Majesty is sufficiently diverted. Father, a peasant girl's insulted your adoptive daughter before the court, and you say nothing.
Ondine, Bertha is a gentle and loyal girl who only asked to be your friend.
You're wrong! You think it's sweet to kill birds with your bare hands!
Burn? What burn? Why not with Bertha kill a
To
bird?
trouble hands, to break him to his knees, to make him beg for forgiveness!
The bird was in my hand, Father. Hans took it and pressed it so hard the bird was killed.
He did not press too hard! A woman's hand, no matter how soft, becomes a shell of iron when it protects a living thing. Your Majesty, if I had a bird in my hand, Hercules could press with all his strength and never crush it. But Bertha knows men. The bird was in her hands and she saw
It was I who killed the bird, Your Majesty!
Tell that who has taken your arms here before her humiliating.
Don't touch me!
I've resurrected the bird is alive in its cage!
She's completely mad.
Can't you hear it? It's saying in its cage! I don't lie, Bertha. Unlike you, I never lie.
How dare you?
Her every word is false. She flatters you constantly.
Nonsense, my dear.
Has she ever dared to speak about you?
What about my relationship to Hercules? Why would that make me blush,
About
Ondine?
the wart in your
What? Leave us at once, all of you.
The most beautiful wart I've ever seen, I swear. If you asked me what it resembled, I would say a flower, a mountain, a cathedral. Hercules and two in the same place. They were called the Pillars of Hercules.
Ondine.
Oh, I've listened to everything the Chamberlain had to say. Hercules goes warrant from touching the Hydra, which naturally he had to touch in order to strangle it. But it's not murder, because who cares about fish?
Ondine, my little Ondine. I like you very much. Yes, I like you. It's a rare pleasure to hear such a clear and tender voice as yours resonating in these stern halls, even if that voice does insist on discussing my wart, which I do inherit from Hercules, since you mention it. But really, you must compose yourself, my child.
Yes,
Who are you?
I am an Ondine. I come from the water.
How old are you?
15, but I was born centuries ago and I will never die.
What has brought you here? What has drawn you to our world?
Everything looks so beautiful from the water.
And is it, now that you're here on dry land?
There are ways to have water before your eyes. Always.
Are you trying to make the world seem beautiful?
No, it's because they want to take hands away from me. I'm frightened.
Oh, perhaps, yes. Would that be so terrible?
Oh, terrible, terrible. If they take hands away from me, he will die.
Oh, not to worry, my dear. Men don't die of these things.
But he will, because I've accepted the pact, because I've accepted that he should die if he betrayed me. I had to, and now I'm afraid.
What makes you think he would betray you?
It's strange. They knew it the moment they saw him. The lake had never known deceit. And then one day a handsome knight appeared on its banks, loyalty glowing on his face, and love whispering from his honest lips. And at that moment, the word deceit rippled through from the water's depths, but I was proud of Hans. He was warm and beautiful, so I defied them. He'll never leave me, I told them. They laughed, so I made the pact.
What was it, this pact?
The old one, the spirit of the lake. He said, you allow us to take Hans' life away if he deceives you. What could I say? To refuse would have been to humiliate Hans and myself, so I said yes.
But surely they'll change their minds. They'll forget about
No,
you.
no, it's very small, that part of the world, where one forgives, where one forgets. Humanity, as you call it. In our world, there is no forgiving, no forswearing. If Hans deceives me, the old one will take his life away.
What power can the old one have over him? Surely there is no real danger.
Oh, water! Every stream, every lake, every pond watches over Hans. They whisper to him as he passes. Except Hans doesn't hear. I hear them. They say, remember the pact, Ondine.
The water speaks, does it?
All the time.
Will you take my advice, little Ondine? You can listen to me. You're very young, my
Yes,
child.
I am 15, but I was born centuries ago and I will never die.
Go away. Leave this place at once.
With Hans?
If you don't want to suffer, if you don't want to cause Hans sorrow, then dive into the nearest stream you find and vanish forever.
But Hans is so clumsy in the water.
Leave him. You've had 3 months of happiness. Be grateful for that much. Now, leave while you still can. There's no right for you, our world. It will only bring you sorrow.
Leave Hans, why?
Because his soul is small. Because he's not good enough for you. Every man's soul is small. Too small for you, Ondine.
I don't even have a soul.
Such things are not for you, Ondine. Not the meagre thing we humans call a soul anyway. The whole world breathes one same soul through lungs and gills, through the winds of the mountains and the currents of the sea. But man wanted a soul of his own. Selfish, petty. There's no such thing as the soul of mankind. Only endless rows of little private lots where each man grows pitiful flowers and pathetic vegetables. A man with a soul so great as to contain all the seasons, so great that the giant winds and rains would seem small enough to fit in it, and all of life passions and all of love too. A man with such a soul, Ondine, might have been good enough for you, but such men are rare to come across. They live only in legend.
But Hans loves me.
Can't you see that everything grand about you Hans only loved because he saw them small? You are the shadows and the light, and Hans loved the darkness of your hair. You are youth and grace, and Hans found you mischievous. The moment he realizes his mistake, the moment he sees you as you really are, how transparent and true you are, he will be afraid, and you will be lost. There's nothing a man fears more than truth. Leave him, leave us, and never come back.
Then I will lie to him. I will make myself small and murky for him. I will forget the water. He will never know I was anything other than a girl. But he does still love me, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt, with all his might.
Excuse me, Your Majesty. The court is in complete consternation. What is your will? Is the reception to continue, perhaps?
At once!
Oh!
Come. How wonderful. I shall be able to ask Bertha for forgiveness.
Bertha, Ondine has something to say to you.
I'm sorry, Bertha.
Very good, Ondine, child.
She could answer me.
What?
I humiliate myself before her. I beg for her forgiveness when I am so much higher than she. She could answer me at least.
Well, that is true. Bertha could answer.
She couldn't she?
Mind your own business,
It
Bertram!
is his business. I'm asking him.
We'll see about that later, won't we, Bertram?
Please! Bertha, Ondine has admitted her error, whatever it was, and I would like you two to be friends.
Very well, Father, I forgive her.
Thank you, Bertha.
On the condition that she carries the train of my dress in all public gatherings.
Yes, Bertha.
The train that's 12 feet long.
The more feet between us, the better, Bertha.
And she admits publicly that I did not kill the bird.
Oh, I will admit it publicly. It will be a lie! Highness Bertha did not kill the bird. It is not singing in its cage, and I did not resurrect it. There are no such thing as birds in this world. Her Highness Bertha does not spend her days stabbing at the eyes of every bird she finds to make them sing for her. Her Highness Bertha does not arise from her bed and stamp on her happy to live the bed.
Ondine, I swear!
You suffer to insult me so!
You forget you're speaking to the king's adoptive daughter, Ondine!
The king's daughter? The king's daughter? You all tremble before her, but you don't know what I know.
Ondine, that's enough.
Oh, shall I tell you whose daughter this is? They're not nobles from faraway lands. They're fishermen by a lake. Their names are Augusta and Eugenie.
You've gone too far, Ondine. Everyone knows there was a golden crown on Bertha's pillow where she was found.
Lies.
That's enough! Come here!
Uncle, please, for once, show them the truth.
Your Majesty, the interlude.
Ma, 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 ma. Ma, 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 ma.
Who are these two? I didn't ask for them.
They're the singers of Swambo. It's impossible to restrain them.
I was soldier.
And I, the niece of Hannibal.
Alas, my love, I'll find you.
Oh, my love, how I long for you.
Enough, I say.
Are they coming, old one?
Here they come.
No, it isn't true.
My darlings!
Hello, Ondine. Oh, my daughter. My dear, lovely daughter. Oh.
Don't touch me, you stink of fish!
Child, my darling daughter, how I prayed to God for your return.
You're not my mother, I'm not your daughter. I pray to remain an orphan.
Oh, shame on you, Bertha. This is your father, Auguste. This is your mother, Eugenie. They are your parents. They love you. Have you no words for them?
I hate them.
Beg for their forgiveness, and for Ondine's too.
Never.
Very well. But until you have begged for their pardon, I forbid you to show your face at court. No daughter of mine is so petty, so ungrateful.
Fine.
I don't like it here, Hans. Please, let's go. Take me away.
Yes, go.
I am sorry, Bertha.
Leave me alone. I won't have your pity
We
now.
won't just abandon you, Bertha.
Your father is a fisherman, a great king in a great kingdom. The trout and the pond quiver each time a goose raises their voice, and you are their princess.
Ondine, maybe don't.
Oh, she has to know who she is, Hans. How I envy you, Bertha. You will live as a fisherman's daughter.
Oh, Bertha! By tomorrow the king will have forgotten everything. His heart is so kind.
Oh, I'll ask her to come away with her, Hans. Bertha is my sister now. Lift your head, Bertha. You have Eugenie's majesty. Eugenie is a queen, they say. Noble as Eugenie.
Oh, Bertha, come away with us. My castle is vast. You can live there if you wish, in the east wing. That one's above the lake.
The lake! Hans, the lake runs by your castle. Bertha will stay the other way.
Oh, as she pleases. That one's above the Rhine River.
The Rhine, Hans! The Rhine runs by your castle.
Yes, and there are waterfalls to the south.
Please, Hans, don't you have a castle in the moors or in the highlands, somewhere away from lakes and streams?
Bertha, go on. We'll be right behind you. Why the sudden fear of water, Ondine? What is it that threatens you from the water?
Beware of the water, Hans.
Yes, my castle is surrounded by water. Each morning I will wash under a waterfall. At noon I shall fish in the lake. And I shall finish all my days with a lovely swim in the Rhine. You don't frighten me with these tales of water, Ondine. What's water? Can water hear? Can water see?
Yes, Mom.
They heard you, Hans. They hear everything.
On thee, beholding besides love, the end of love, hearing oblivion beyond memory, as one who sits and gazes from above, over the rivers to the bitter sea.
My lord, the choir has filled into the chancel.
What did you say?
I refer to the choir singing at your wedding, my lord.
Do you have to speak in that pompous tone? Can't you speak like a normal human being for once? Fetch me the swineherd at once.
Long life to the bride, to the Lady Bertha.
Go away!
Hans, my love, why so angry on the day of our wedding?
There's something you must know about the Wittgensteins, Bertha. I'm lost.
Hans, what's the matter with you?
On the day of misfortune, servants begin to speak in a solemn tongue. There's a rhythm to their sentences, and their words are grand. On the day of misfortune for the Wittgenstein, a kitchen maid will sing lyrics, and swineherds notice all the beauty in the world with new, bewildered eyes.
Perhaps you hear poetry because it's a day of joy, Hans.
Death will come soon enough.
Hans, don't be ridiculous. Speak not of death today. Rejoice in our wedding and our love. You hold me in your arms, but you're not thinking of me. Why? What are you thinking of?
That I did not make her confess her crime before the world. That I was too weak to seek vengeance for what she did to me.
Can't you put her out of your mind, Hans, today of all days?
Yes, today especially. I give you the shadow of a man, doubtful and humiliated, Bertha, and it's her doing. You should have married a proud and joyful man. Oh, how she lied to me!
She never lied to you, Hans. You married an Ondine. She was from another world. Everyone else saw it but you. She never used the word woman. She said, I am an Ondine, always, and you never heard. She's been gone 6 months and you still dwell on it. Forget her, Hans.
Forget Ondine? Does she let me forget? That cry that awakened me the morning she left. I have deceived you with Bertram. Does it ever stop echoing? Each morning it rises from the rivers, the streams, the waterfalls sing it, deafening. I have deceived you with Bertram.
Deceived you with Bertram.
Who's there?
Let's be fair, Hans. Ondine must have caught us. She must have found out that we had already deceived her. It was only then you deceived her with Bertram.
And where is she now, Bertha? Where is Ondine? In the 6 months since she's left, I have sent every huntsman, every fisherman after her.
She vanished?
No. She isn't gone. She isn't far anyway. I can hear her. I can feel her, always. At dawn today, they found a wreath made of urchins and starfish at the chapel door. She put it there, of course.
Oh, my darling, it's your mistake we're reaping for. You were never meant to be a fairy catcher. I know you, Hans. When I sent you away into that forest, this man, I thought, will come back. He will look carefully, right and left, but he'll never find an enchanted lake, nor stumble upon a world of fairies. He'll never glimpse between the trees at twilight the white forehead of a unicorn. In the forest, he'll find a woodcutter's hut, and he'll duck his head in at the door and sit at the wooden table in the middle of the room and polish his shoes by the fire. He'll rummage around in the cupboards and chop some onions for a stew. He'll follow the human path. He will not lose his way.
But I did lose it. I wandered.
But you found it again, Hans. That night in the winter when you told me you loved me still. You found your way home.
Oh, what do you want?
The swineherd, my lord.
Where is he?
In the shadow of an oak by the banks of a stream.
Well?
I bid him hither, but he did not mark me. He was gazing at the sky, a song whispering at his lips.
Never mind. Fetch me the kitchen maid at once.
There is a fisherman to see you, my lord.
You hear? The kitchen maid, at once, no matter what she's singing or gazing at.
Yes, my lord.
My lord.
Say it twice more and that's poetry.
We have her. She's caught.
You captured Ondine.
And Ondine, yes, in the rain, but she was swimming.
It's her? You're certain of it?
Absolutely certain, my lord. Her hair was dangled round her neck, her voice like water, skin like pearl. A beautiful girl, my lord. She's an Ondine, no doubt.
An Ondine, yes, for sure.
Prepare yourself, my lord. The judges are coming to see her.
Judges?
What judges?
Well, the imperial and episcopal judges, my lord. They have jurisdiction over supernatural meddlings in our world.
So soon?
They were just passing by. They came from Bringham where they hung a fairy. Now they can do with Ondine, too.
Why here? Why now? Can't you be tried at court?
No, Bertha! This is my castle, my wedding day! Ondine's trial will take place here any minute now.
Don't see her hand.
Leave us. The judges, my lord! In just a few more moments we shall finally be at peace.
Ah! Marvellous! Marvellous!
perfect altitude, is it not?
My thoughts precisely, just below the realm of the water.
Just below the realm of the air. You have our compliments, my lord.
Gentlemen, your timing is impeccable. But how did you know there was work for you here?
Our dealings with the supernatural grant us a degree of insight unknown to our colleagues in the civil and criminal court.
Our task is also more difficult.
Yes! Determining the lines separating two vineyards is much easier. But determining the border between the human world and the spirits, that is a task which requires the highest skill. Just the other day, my dear colleague, in the case involving the Lady Dorothea, you were of the opinion that the accused was a salamander. We tied her to the stake, just to check, and she burned like a crisp. Turns out she was an Ondine.
Treacherous that.
Aye.
Aye, and yesterday too, that Gertrude who poured ale at the inn without using her hands. You were convinced she was an Ondine. We chucked her in the river with a stone tied to her feet. And she drowned.
Turns out she was a salamander.
Baffling. Appearances are not to be trusted.
Is Ondine with you two?
We have her in custody at the moment, Knight, but before we begin, it would be valuable to ascertain the exact nature of your complaint.
My complaint?
Yes.
My complaint is that of all mankind. I ask to be granted solitude on the earth. Is it too much to ask for? That little strip of air we have between heaven and hell. What I ask for, gentlemen, is to finally live without feeling their swarming and crawling presence, trespassing on our lands, infesting our waters. On the morning of my wedding day, I ask that the world be finally empty, cleansed of these extra-human lives. I ask to finally be alone, to be myself with my bride, alone.
It is a lot you're asking for, Knight.
It is an undeniable fact around every human gesture. The basest, the noblest, the host of grotesque creatures is constantly dancing us round. What's to be done? We must resign ourselves.
Was there ever an age free of this infestation?
An age? I believe there was one, Knight. For one day, yes. It was late August near Augsburg in the harvest season. I was lying in the shade of an apple tree, and as I watched the sky above me, the world was empty, free of the inhuman shadow. The lark soared in the blue above my head, and no raven mirrored it. In the river under the sun, the watermill did tread slowly, and did not in its orbit drag the vast shadowy wheel which grinds the souls of the damned. For a moment, the world was clear and bright, simple-hearted and plain, but yet, for the first time I tasted a certain loneliness. The loneliness of humanity. All the spirits have fled to other worlds, distant places, leaving the earth barren and empty. It only lasted for a second, though. They had soon returned from the comets, the endless clouds of heaven, the fiery stardust of bottomless nights, only to watch me mop my brow under an apple tree. Oh, but look, you're coming to the accused. Now, where is the fisherman who caught her? Summon the fisherman.
It's the first time I've caught one, Your Honour. Today's my lucky day.
Congratulations. Now, what was she doing when you caught her?
I always knew I was bound to catch an Ondine. Every morning these past 30 years I woke up and I thought, I'm going to catch an Ondine. But this morning, I was sure of it.
I am asking you what she was doing.
Oh, and I caught her alive too. In Regensburg they got one. They bashed its head in with an oar. Oh, they bashed her head in real good. But I was careful to fish her out alive, you see. Just slammed her head against the side of the boat a few times.
You ox! You hurt her head!
Would you please answer my question? Was she swimming when you caught her?
Aye. She was swimming. And naked too. Showing her legs and her breasts and her... She could hold her breath for 10 minutes and everything. I timed her.
Was she singing?
No, she wasn't singing. She made a sound like a moan or a bark. That's it. She was barking. I deceived you with Bertram.
Nonsense! Since when do you understand barking?
Well, that's what I thought. A bark's normally a bark, but this bark I understood, and it said, I deceived you with Bertram.
Did she smell like sulphur when you pulled her out?
No. She had an odour of algae, of pine.
Make up your mind. Did she smell like algae or pine?
She had an odour of algae, of pine. She had an odour that said, I deceived
Are you quite done blabbering, you triple idiot?
That is all, fisherman. Thank you. You may go.
Oh, what about my net? Can I have my net back now?
Your net is evidence, fisherman. It shall be returned to you in due course.
But I need my net for fishing. I need it for fishing, you see. I'm a fisherman. It's part of my equipment. I need my net. I'm a fisherman. I need my net.
The evidence is sufficient enough, I think. Good people, does anyone here deny that this is an Ondine?
I deny it!
Who said that? Remove that man! Since we hear no further objection, we can declare that the supernatural characteristics of the accused have been established beyond reasonable doubt. Now, we come to the second part of this trial. Knight, do you accuse this woman, by reason of illegal intrusion into our world, of having caused disorder and confusion for all those involved?
Me? Of course not.
You accuse her then of bringing chaos and evil into your life.
But evil? Ondine? Well, that's absurd. Who would say such a thing?
Brilliant. We're just trying to define the crime, Knight.
You're wrong, all of you.
Who is this man?
I am a witness.
He's lying! Go away!
Well, in that case, you may speak.
This Ondine is no longer an Ondine. She has renounced her world and betrayed her race. She has become a woman.
A demon.
A woman, I say. Ondine could call upon heaven and earth to do her bidding. The Rhine is her servant. She speaks, and the water performs miracles. But she gave up those powers for human specialties of cooking, sprained ankles, and hay fever. Isn't that true, Knight? She preferred the humblest attributes of your kind, the kettle and the spoon. Write this on your record, Judge. Ondine was the most human being that ever lived. Was human by choice.
Well, we are informed that the accused had a habit of locking herself behind closed doors for hours on end to practice her magic arts. What do you say to that, fisherman?
And what was the result of her efforts when your mistress disappeared for hours behind closed doors?
A meringue, Your Honour.
A meringue?
She worked 3 months to uncover the secret of a good meringue.
Did she succeed?
It was marvellous. The best meringue I've ever tasted, Your Honour.
Lord have mercy on us! Lord have mercy on us. And it was your mistress who raised animals, did she not? All sorts of beastly creatures in the abominable courtyard.
Just rabbits, Your Honour. I fed them alfalfa. Oh, and some chicken stew for the eggs.
Surely she spoke to the beasts.
Ondine, never. I spoke to them. I like speaking to the dogs, but they never answered, Your Honour.
Thank you. We shall take all that into account in our deliberations. Now, we come to the heart of the matter. Knight, I finally understand the nature of your complaint. Ondine, you are accused of having cheated this man out of the joys of marriage. Instead of loving him just like every wife should love her husband, you robbed him of that love to which he was entitled. You foisted upon him the wearisome existence of everyday life, devoid of feeling and passion. You traded love for the most meaningless and basest acts.
Ondine, devoid of love, what are you talking about?
Really, Knight, it is becoming a trifle difficult to follow you.
On the contrary, I accuse this woman of loving me beyond measure, beyond human endurance. I accuse her of thinking only of me, of dreaming only of me, of living and trembling only for me.
That's hardly a crime, Knight.
No! I was her god! You hear? Her gone!
No.
You don't believe me? Very well. Answer me, Ondine. Who was your only thought?
You.
Who was your bread, your wine? When you drank from your cup, what were you drinking?
You.
Tell them! You knelt before my image, didn't you? You kissed the very fabric of my clothes. When you prayed, you murmured my name.
Yes.
You hear? She pushes love to blasphemy.
What is your point, knight? We are here to judge Ondine, not love.
Nonetheless, that is exactly what I'm requiring you to judge. It is love I'm accusing. I accuse the truest love of falsity and the highest love of being vile, because this woman, who lived and breathed only for me, has deceived me with Bertram.
That is preposterous. If Ondine loved you as she said she did, she could not possibly have deceived you with anyone.
Answer me, Ondine. Did you deceive me with Bertram?
Yes.
Swear it! Swear it before these judges!
I swear I deceived him with Bertram.
Then she could not possibly have loved you. Mark my words. We shall see in this murky business. My dear colleague, ask the 3 canonical questions.
Ondine, when this man is running, what do you do?
I lose my breath.
The second.
When he cuts his finger, stubs his toe.
Oh, I bleed.
The third.
When he mumbles, excuse me, knight, when he snores in his sleep.
I hear singing.
Her answers are coherent. She seems sincere, and this man whom you loved body and soul, you deceived him.
Yes.
With Bertram.
Yes.
You deceived him with Bertram.
Yes, I deceived him with Bertram.
My interrogation won't be as vague as the judge's, Ondine. You want to play? Fine. Let's. Now answer me this. Where is Bertram?
He's in Burgundy. He's waiting for me.
And where was it you deceived your husband with Bertram?
In a forest.
Was it morning? Was it evening?
At noon.
Was it cold? Was it warm?
It was freezing. Bertram said, may the ice preserve our love. One doesn't forget these words.
Very well. From their confrontation will emerge the truth. I summon Bertram to this trial!
Bertram! Just a moment. Bertram! Just a moment, if you please. Are you the Count Bertram? Yes. This woman claims she deceived her husband with you.
Yes. Yes.
Is it true?
If she says it's true, it's true.
Where did it happen?
In her bedroom. In this very castle.
In the morning? In the evening?
At night!
Was it cold? Was it warm?
The logs were blazing in the hearth. Ondine said how hot it is the way to hell. One does not forget these words.
Perfect! Now everything is
Nothing's
clear.
clear. What do you think you're proving? Who remembers these trifles? If her answers don't match, it's because the love was all consuming. It's because the passion left us without memory.
Count Bertram, take this woman in your arms and kiss her.
I take my orders only from Ondine.
Does your heart not give you orders too?
Ask him to kiss you, Ondine. How do you expect us to believe you if you don't give yourself to him?
Kiss me, Bertram.
You wish me to, really?
I ask you to. Kiss me here in front of all these people. For a second. Just a second. And if I should shudder when you draw near, Bertram, if I should struggle in your arms, think nothing of it.
We're waiting on
Or
him.
if I should scream. If I should scream. It's only because I am frightened of all these people, and besides, maybe I won't scream.
Make up your mind.
Okay, or am I just faint? Okay. You may kiss me as you please. You may do to me whatever you please.
Do it.
Ondine.
There's your proof, gentlemen.
Be quiet. You've not proven anything. You think if I shout the name Hans when Bertram kisses me, I did not deceive him with Bertram. On the contrary, if I throw out his name so easily, it's because I don't love him anymore. When I say the name Hans, I rid myself of the name.
The trial is over, Ondine. There's nothing more to say.
Count Bertram, you may go.
Oh no, come on.
Right. Our work is done here. Allow us to deliver our judgment.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
This woman was wrong in disguising her nature to you. She is also guilty of illegally trespassing into our world. Why she decided to make us believe she deceived you with Bertram when she in fact did not is beyond the scope of our inquiry. Since she has done no great harm, she shall be spared torture and public humiliation. Her throat will be cut this evening with no witnesses. In the meantime, we shall place her in the custody of the executioner and of this good man, whom we thank for his assistance in the conduct of this trial and delivery of justice. Oh, but of course, the bells! The knight is to be married. Allow us to join you in your hour of happiness.
Who is she?
Who?
Ask for me, my lord.
This woman who walks towards me like a creature from another world.
She seems to be of this world, knight.
She is the kitchen maid, my lord.
She is beautiful.
Beautiful. This old hag.
How very beautiful.
Well, we shall not contradict you. Will you proceed us?
No! No! I must listen to the kitchen maid. I must hear what she has to say. She knows how things will end. Go on, kitchen maid. Speak. We're listening.
Oh, what can ail thee, night at arms? Alone and palely loitering, the sedge has withered from the lake, and no birds sing.
That rhymes, doesn't it?
I don't think so, my lord.
I see a lily on thy brow, with anguish moist and fever dew, and on thy cheeks a fading rose, fast withereth too.
That rhymes. These verses rhyme. You're not going to tell me these verses don't rhyme.
Verses.
What verses? Are you quite well?
I met a lady in the meads, full beautiful, the fairy's child. Her hair was long, her foot was light, and her eyes were wild. I saw pale kings and princes too, pale warriors, death pale were they all. They cried, La belle dame sans merci, thee hath enthralled. I saw their starved lips in the glow, with horrid warning gaping wide. And I woke, and found me here, on the cold hillside.
That's a poem, isn't it? Would you call that a poem?
The bride awaits you in the chapel, my lord. They ask for you.
Thank you, kitchen maid. Go and say that I am coming.
All right, mistress. Come along with me.
One moment. The end is near, Ondine.
Don't kill him, old one.
Remember the pact, Ondine. He has deceived you.
Yes, Hans deceived me. And I pretended to deceive him first with Bertram. But don't judge him by our standards, old one. Men deceive their wives because they love them. They deceive them out of love. Hans wanted to show the world how true, how pure I am. He deceived me.
You're almost a woman, Ondine, the way you speak of him. But he has given you sorrow.
No, sorrow does not mean to be unhappy. We are amongst humans here. Among the infinite beauties of the world, there are 3 points where treason, pain, and deceit converge. There lies the happiness of men. The more you suffer, the happier you are. I am happy here. I am happiest of all.
He will die, Ondine!
Save him, old woman, please.
What does it matter to you? You've only a few minutes left of human life, of human memory. Soon, your sisters will call your name 3 times, and by the 3rd, you will have forgotten everything.
No, but save him. Please save him.
If you wish, I will let him die the moment you forget. That way you will never have to grieve for him.
But he is so strong, so young.
You have strained his heart, Ondine.
How could I?
And so with every man. What strains the woodman's heart, or the knight's, is not the mighty oak, not wicked crimes, not monsters. No. It's a slender reed. It's a child who loves him. He has a few minutes left to live.
No, he has so much to live for now. I have stepped aside. I promise you I have given him to Bertha.
You think so? It's all whirling about in his mind now. His brain resonates with songs of dying men. Bertha waits for him now, at the chapel, but Hans isn't with her. He's too far now. He's in the stable with his horse. He's listening to his horse speak poetry.
You're lying. I can hear them singing in the chapel. He is too happy. He is to be married.
What marriage, Ondine? There will be no marriage now. Marriage has glided over him like a ring too wide for the finger. He's wandering by the lake, speaking to himself. That's what men do when they stumble upon a stone-hard truth, a gleaming treasure. They become mad. For the first time in his life, he's reasoning quite simply now and clearly, like the plants, like water, like us. He will not marry the woman he does not love.
I went out to the hazel wood because a fire was in my head, and carved and peeled a hazel wand and hooked a berry to a thread.
He is cursing me. He hates me.
And when white moths were on the wing and moth-like stars were flickering out, I dropped the berry in a stream and caught a little silver trout. When I had laid it on the floor, I went to blow the fire aflame, but something rustled on the floor and someone called me by my name. It had become a glimmering girl with apple blossom in her hair, who called me by my name and ran and faded through the brightening air.
He loves you, Ondine.
Though I am old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands, I will find out where she has gone, and kiss her lips and hold her hands and pluck till time and times are done the silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of the sun.
He loves you, Ondine. He is mad.
My name is Hans.
It's a pretty name.
The most beautiful names in the world, weren't they? Ondine and Hans.
Hans and Ondine.
Oh no! Ondine first. That's the title. It will be called Ondine. The tale where I appear from time to time, but my part isn't brilliant, is it? But it was never bound to be. I'm dumb. You said it once, it's true. I'm just a man. I loved Ondine because I had to. Deceived her because I had to. It's all very simple. I was born to live between the horses and the stables and the hounds for the hunt, but somewhere down the line, I lost that human path. I found you, Ondine, on the lakeside in that forest, and I was forever stuck between nature and destiny. There was nothing to be done. I loved you.
Forgive me, Hans.
Why must they always choose wrong? I was not a man meant for love, Ondine. Those are of a different kind. Plump bankers, retired professors full of wasted fury, meticulous clerks with glasses, men with a time in their lives for joy and suffering. Not I! But you always choose wrong, don't you? You fall with all your might on some poor, miserable knight called Hans. Just Hans. An ordinary man of action who should have nothing to do with love. Tell me, between the wars and the hospitals and the jousts and the chase, did I ever have one spare minute in my entire life? No! But you had to add the fire in my veins, the poison in my eye, the bitterness of my mouth, and how they shook me, and bruised me, and flayed me between heaven and hell. It wasn't very fair, Ondine.
Farewell, Hans.
And then they leave you. The day you find each other again, the day you realize you've never loved anyone but them, that you'll die if they left you, that day, without fail, they look you in the eye and spread their wings, they say farewell.
I'm going to forget everything, Hans.
And it's a real farewell! A farewell forever! Not like those lovers who part on the threshold of death only to meet again in another world, only to fall in love again. They part so they never part again. But Ondine says, farewell, I will forget you, farewell for good. We go our separate ways for all eternity. To the end of the void, to the end of oblivion. There is no world for the both of us, Ondine. We must do this properly. The first real farewell this world has ever known.
Try to live, Hans. You two will forget me.
Live. It's easy to say. But I'm tired, Ondine. It's too much effort. Ever since the day you left, everything my body once did by itself, it now only does if I command it to. I only see when I tell my eyes to see. The grass. It isn't green unless I tell my eyes to see green. It's very sad, Ondine. Black grass. Grass without colour. It is an endless, exhausting task living. Having to manage and command 5 different senses, 200 bones, 1,000 muscles and veins, a single moment of inattention, and I forget to breathe. He died, they will say, because it was a nuisance to breathe. He died of love. Why did you come back, Ondine? Why did you let those fishermen catch you?
To tell you I will mourn for you always.
Oh, mourn for me? No. No one will be there to mourn for me. All that will be left of me will be an Ondine in the lake, and even she will have forgotten me.
No, Hans. For years I've been preparing for this day. I have taken my precautions. You used to laugh at me when I would make the same gestures in the house, the same movements in the garden, back and forth. You said I was counting my steps. I was. I was preparing for the day I would return to the water, having lost all memory of you. I will go on forever living with you. I will make the same movements I did when I lived with you and never stray from their immutable course. At the bottom of the lake, when I dive down to its deep caverns, it will be like going to the cellar. When I spring up to the surface, it will be like going to the attic. I will open the window and look through. I will sweep the hall. I will shake leaves off the doormat. Among the wild Ondines and the weeds, there will be one who is forever your wife. What is it, Hans?
Nothing, I just forgot for a moment.
Forgot what?
That the sky was blue. Go on, Ondine, darling, continue.
For years I have been preparing for this day. They will call me the human girl. I took some things from our room, from your house that time I left, and I threw them in the lake. There are wardrobes and chairs down there, pots, books, forks, your sword hands, and a hairbrush. I took the clock from the dining room. They must look strange down there, all these objects, pieces of wood and gleaming metal at the bottom of the lake. But tomorrow I will notice they are moving with the currents. They will seem firm and true. I will be in our house, at the bottom of the lake.
Thank you, Ondine. They call your name, Ondine?
Yes, they will call 3 times, but I will remember everything until the last. Ask me something quickly before everything turns to ashes. Let's try to remember.
What did you say, Ondine, when you came out of the storm and saw me for the very first time?
I said how beautiful he is.
And when you caught me with the trout?
I said how stupid he is.
And when I said, go think over there?
I said we will remember this hour later on. The hour before you kissed me.
I don't think I can wait now.
Oh, do it now. Oh, Hans, hurry quickly. We've only a moment longer. Everything's muddled in my head already. Quickly, ask me something. Say something.
I can't speak and kiss you at the same time, Ondine.
Oh, be quiet.
Here they come, Ondine. So I'm done with wandering. They come at last, they come. Holding in their dappled hands silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of the sun.
Oh, please help! Hans isn't well, Hans is dying.
Ondine.
Where am I? How can I swim here? How strange and cold. So solid and empty. Is this Earth?
It is the earth, Ondine. It's no place for you.
No.
Come, Ondine, come with us to the waters.
Come, little one, take my hand. Don't be scared.
Oh, wait. Who is this handsome man lying here? What is his name?
His name is Hans.
Hans. Oh, it's a pretty name. Oh, why doesn't he move?
He's dead.
Come, Ondine, it's time.
How beautiful he is. Oh, I like him so. Oh, can you give him life again, old one?
No.
Ondine.
What a pity. How I should have loved him.
Thank you to the light designers, the set, people, everyone. And thanks for coming. I know it's the last one, but...
And thank you to you.
If you like the show, I know it's the last day of the Fringe, but if you like the show, don't hesitate to leave a positive review or a negative review on Ed Fringe. Yeah. Thank you so much again. Woo.